The Locket by the Lake. Once upon a time. Please don't start like that. Okay. How about yesterday? Much better. Great. So yesterday, I was driving through the winding roads of Lakeview, you know, the ones you love so much. Ah, scenic and filled with potholes. Such a joy. Exactly. And as I was driving along. Wait, did you check your gas or something? I mean, what if you broke down? Oh, please. I meticulously maintain my car. Trust me, if anyone's breaking down, it'll be you with that rusty hunk of metal. It's vintage and it has character. But go on. Fine. I was cruising along when my clumsy cat, Whiskers, sneezed and startled me. That's when I swerved and hit the brakes. Nothing like a choosy feline to spice up a drive. Right? And guess what happened next? I heard a strange crunch. So I got out to see what it was. Please tell me it was a giant candy wrapper or something equally mundane. Nope, I found an old locket lying in the grass. A locket. Very romantic, Al. Yeah, but here's the twist. It was stuck in a patch of daisies. You know how I feel about daisies. They're cute and all, but are you saying you love them as much as you love chocolate? Maybe more. But that's beside the point. The locket had a tiny engraving, M&S, forever, so your initial reaction would be to assume it's some tragic love story. Or some scandalous affair. You have such a cynical mind. My instincts tell me it's a story of love lost. I mean, how do you misplace a locket? I don't know, maybe someone got so caught up in a whirlwind romance they tossed it to the wind. Ha! Well, I squeezed it and somehow it popped open. Like a surprise egg. Did you find any secrets inside? No secrets, but there was a photo of two women, around our age, happily perched on a park bench. I could feel the chemistry between them just from the picture. Bet you felt all warm and fuzzy inside. I did, actually. And right then I thought, why not return it? Find these ladies and uncover their story. I mean, nothing would make a more intriguing Saturday than a nice love quest. Wow, quite the adventure you've got planned. Right? So I post the picture on social media, providing a little backstory about the locket. Shortly after, I received messages, and guess who reached out? Okay, let me guess, a quirky photographer from Instagram. Nope. It was Sierra, one of the women in the photo. She wanted to meet up to get it back. Whoa. This turned into a rom-com real quick. It gets better. She invited me to a cute little cafe by the lake where they used to go on dates. Ooh, romantic vibes. Tell me you wore something cute. Of course I did. I dressed up for this rendezvous. When I arrived, we saw each other instantly. She had short curly hair, and wore these stunning blue glasses that graced her face like art. Okay, now I am living for this. What happened next? We connected right away. She told me all about her relationship with Mia, the other woman in the picture, and how they had lost touch after college. Apparently, Mia had given her that locket, and it was her favorite keepsake. Wow, that's so poignant. Did you realize you were standing in for love? Pretty much. As we laughed and sipped our drinks, I felt this magnetic pull. We talked as if we had known each other for years. Turns out, Mia also lives in Lakeview but moved away for a job. And she was the other half of this love story. Exactly. After getting her phone number, I offered to facilitate a meetup. I mean, I had the locket, it made sense to help them reconnect. That's so sweet, Al. Are you some kind of locket cupid now? Maybe. But happens next is the ultimate twist. I discovered Sierra was also single, and we had insane chemistry. No. No way. Was she your type? Definitely. All along, everything felt serendipitous. I never intended to fall in love, but at that moment, I realized I was completely charmed by her. So you ended the night trading stories and sparks flew? Pretty much. We stayed at the cafe long after closing, talking about everything, life goals, dreams, and of course, our mutual love for ridiculous animal videos. Classic bonding. And just when I thought it couldn't get better, guess who showed up? Mia. Wait, they reunited. Are you serious? Yes. They embraced as if they'd never missed a moment. It was beautiful. And in that moment, I realized I wasn't sad. I was happy. I had played a small part in rekindling love. And what about you and Sierra? She's been texting me ever since, asking me out for the next few weekends. It looks like there's a new love adventure ahead. No way. Watch out, world, Sierra and Al are finding their own happily ever after. Fate, if you will. And it all started with a little locket. A locket that clearly had magic within it. The following week, after what felt like an entire lifetime of anticipation, I found myself getting ready for my second date with Sierra. I stood in front of the mirror, adjusting my outfit every few seconds, trying to strike the perfect balance between casual and cute. Choosing a simple but chic sundress that danced around my knees, I felt the flutter of excitement bubble up inside me. Hey, calm down there. Whiskers meowed, strutting nonchalantly past me, as if to say, you're making a big deal out of nothing. Easy for you to say. I laughed, running my fingers through her soft fur. You're not the one heading out with an absolute dream girl. Whiskers yawned dramatically, unimpressed with my concerns. Part of me wished she could give me pointers on flirting, but alas, I didn't think cats were known for their dating advice. I arrived at the cafe, my heartbeat quickening as I spotted Sierra already seated at a table outside, bathed in soft sunlight. She was wearing a breezy white top and a pair of denim shorts that showcased her legs beautifully. She looked radiant, her laughter echoing through the air as she chatted with the barista. Hey there, she called, waving me over with a huge grin. Hi. My cheeks flushed. I waved back, trying to play it cool while my stomach performed a wild dance. As I sat down, she leaned forward, her green eyes sparkling with mischievousness. I've been looking forward to this all week. You know, I actually told Mia all about our little love adventure last time I saw her. She said I should thank you for being our matchmaker. Can you believe that? That's insane. I didn't do anything special, I replied, blushing deeper. I just found a locket. But hey, if I'm playing Cupid, I might as well run with it. Sierra laughed, her melodic voice sending a thrill through me. Well, consider me enchanted by your matchmaking skills. As we chatted, the small cafe buzzed around us, filled with the sounds of laughter and clinking cups. The atmosphere felt impossibly romantic, and I had to pinch myself. Had I really just found this incredible girl, and helped reconnect her with someone important? Hours flew by as we shared stories about our lives, our families, and quirky things we did during childhood. I loved how easy it felt to talk to her, how she put me at ease. Despite being slightly nervous, I found myself complimenting her more than I had planned. Your smile is contagious, I said, catching her eye with a playful grin. It completely lights up this place. Stop, you're going to make me blush, she teased, her cheeks tinting a rosy hue. But instead of feeling embarrassed, she leaned in closer, a glint of something deeper passing between us. A warm silence enveloped us, and I couldn't shake the electricity in the air. What do you say we take this adventure a step further? Sierra said, raising an eyebrow suggestively. Like what? I asked, a teasing smile playing on my lips, fully aware of where this was heading. Why don't we go for a walk around the lake? There are some stunning spots I'd love to show you. Sure. I'd love that. The moment we stepped outside the cafe, I felt the gentle breeze whip through my hair as we strolled side by side, our fingers brushing occasionally. Our conversation flowed seamlessly as we wandered along the well-worn path encircling the lake. Isn't it beautiful? Sierra said, gesturing to the sun setting behind the water, casting playful shimmers of gold and orange. This place holds so many memories for me and Mia. I can't believe I'm finally reconnecting with her again. It feels surreal. I can only imagine. It's so sweet that you're getting that second chance, I replied, trying not to sound too wistful. It really warms my heart. We paused at a scenic overlook and leaned against the wooden railing, gazing over the water. The view was breathtaking, the colors danced in the reflection, and I could hardly breathe for a moment. And what about you? Sierra asked. Ever had a second chance at something or someone? I contemplated her question, feeling a pang of honesty rise in my chest. Once. I had a connection with this girl, years ago, but we lost touch after college. I often wonder what would have come of it if we hadn't drifted apart. Why don't you try reaching out again? You never know what might happen, she said, glancing at me. There was understanding in her gaze, she had a knack for seeing right through me. Before I could respond, she turned and stepped slightly closer, her shoulder brushing against mine. I felt my heart race as the world around us fell away, leaving only the two of us beneath the painted sky. I want you to know, Sierra began, biting her lip for a moment before continuing, what's happening between us, is magical. I can't help but feel drawn to you. It's not just about what you did for Mia and me. It's about the connection we share. My breath caught in my throat. You feel it too? Absolutely, she said softly, her eyes searching mine. And I'd love to see where this leads us. Time slowed as I took a shuddering breath, taking a step closer. You have no idea how long I've waited for a moment like this. Then why don't we see what happens, she whispered, eyes sparkling with intent. And just like that, our two worlds, once separate yet now intertwined, felt like they were about to embark on an adventure of their own. As I gazed into Sierra's emerald eyes, I felt a rush of courage wash over me. The symphony of the lake's gentle waves whispered in my ears, urging me to take a leap of faith. Without thinking twice, I reached out and took her hand, intertwining our fingers. Let's see where this adventure takes us, I said, the air heavy with possibility. A smile bloomed on her lips, filling me with warmth. I'd like that. We began to walk again, our fingers still linked as we meandered down the path. As we walked, the conversation shifted from light-hearted banter to deeper topics. We delved into our dreams and aspirations, sharing hopes for the future. I've always wanted to travel the world, I confessed, feeling more vulnerable but comforted by her presence. I want to see everything, the cultures, the food, the experiences to capture in stories. Sierra considered my words, then nodded. I love that. Adventure is in my blood too. I want to create art that connects people, maybe even inspire them with a message or a feeling. An artist, huh? I smirked playfully. That would explain your exquisite taste in everything. Flattery will get you everywhere, she laughed, squeezing my hand gently. As we reached a more secluded spot by the lake, surrounded by willow trees that drooped toward the shimmering water, I felt a gravity pulling us closer. It was as if the universe had aligned to bring us to this very moment. Sierra stepped closer and tilted her head toward me, her gaze intense. Can I tell you something? Of course, I replied, heart racing. I've never felt this kind of connection with anyone before, she admitted, her voice barely above a whisper. I didn't expect all of this, I never knew a locket could lead to something so profound. A blush crept over my cheeks. I get it. I never expected to feel this way, either. But it's like the universe was saying, hey, you two are meant to find each other. She smiled softly, her eyes flickering with emotion. Whatever happens, I want you to know that meeting you has changed everything for me. Just as the words left her lips, the sun dipped below the horizon, casting an ethereal glow over everything. It felt like a cinematic moment, one that could only occur in the right timing and with the right people. Suddenly, Sierra leaned in, her gaze steady and sure. My heart raced as I understood what she intended. I held my breath, filled with both fear and excitement. Would this truly happen? When our lips met, everything around us melted away. It was a soft, tentative kiss that blossomed with warmth and promise. I felt every fiber of my being ignite with joy. It was everything I had hoped for and more, a kiss that felt like destiny, grounding me and robbing me of time. When we pulled away, our foreheads lightly touching, I couldn't help but smile. Well, that was unexpected, I breathed, still reveling in the feeling of her lips against mine. Unexpected and beautiful, Sierra echoed. I didn't even plan for that moment. It just felt right. The warmth of her words enveloped me, and I realized I wanted to create more moments like this with her. You know, about that love quest, it seems we're both searching for something, I said carefully, my pulse steadying as I took a breath. What if we wrote our own story? She beamed at me, a brightness in her eyes that made my heart flutter. I'd love that. Together. As we strolled back toward the cafe, I caught a glimpse of the locket resting safely in my bag. It had started this whole journey, not just for Mia and Sierra, but for me, too. I had found unexpected love in the most delightful of ways. We exchanged stories, laughter, and warmth, slowly forging a bond one hoped was lasting. In that moment, surrounded by the beauty of Lakeview, I realized that destiny had more in store for me than I could have ever imagined. That night, under the stars, I held Sierra close as we discussed everything and anything. Emboldened by vulnerability and connection, we began to sketch out what the future might hold for us, all the adventures yet to come. I can't wait to watch how our story unfolds, I said, my heart brimming with excitement. Neither can I, she replied, squeezing my hand tighter as the lake shimmered behind us, reflecting the potential of our new beginning. And with that promise of tomorrow, we stepped forward into the unknown, unafraid to embrace whatever came next, with love guiding our path.